She also hosts an amazing book club, which I am happy to belong to, featuring multiple-time former guest Dr. Anthony Chaffee. You can find his book club on his Patreon, which is a very high value, very inexpensive for everything you get there. You can also find Olivia on Twitter and Instagram at Olivia Khwaja, and you can find her absolutely adorable kids on Instagram as well, sharing such a cool message and amazing recipes. You can find that at real_food_kids. Olivia Khwaja, what an absolute honor it is to welcome you back to Boundless Body Radio.
Thanks for having me back. One of my favorite people to talk to and one of my favorite things to talk about. So I'm very excited to be here.
That's great. I loved hanging out with you. We've got to hang out in person twice. It was a little bit warmer in San Diego than it was in Denver in February. So that was really nice to sit by the beach, by the water, and have lunch and hang out and chat. And yeah, I love chatting with you. We had this idea actually to do a kind of special episode today about the book club. And I want to just kind of tee this up by saying, like, all of us in the low carb or carnivore space, we have our heroes, right? Like, we've got Dr. Anthony Chaffee, we've got Dr. Sean Baker, we've got Dr. Ken Berry and Kevin Stock and all these guys and women in this space who are doing such amazing work. They're all super fit. They look amazing. And yet there's also this the community underneath that is following all of these people. They're just kind of everyday people. And the book club has been such an amazing collection of people around the world who have amazing stories to tell. And it's just been really interesting to kind of participate in. What has been your experience with hosting this book club?
It has been a fantastic experience. I think you summed it up so perfectly there. I think we are in a really strange place and time in our human existence. Is kind of how, if I take a step back and look at it, where we've all seemed to have, especially anyone in this nutrition space, woken up to a time and a place where what we're supposed to eat is just a big question mark. And if you're lucky, most people don't even know that that has to be questioned. And we are, for those of us who have realized that there are different ways to eat that can really improve our health, we're trying to figure out, well, okay, if this works for me now and I'm in this community and I've had this experience and I'm feeling so much better, how on earth am I going to make sense of the rest of the world and exist in society around me when I'm so different to everyone else? And look at, every time we go to the supermarket, you're in this position where you're looking and staring at all these products in the aisles and you're going, what is going on? And as you said, there's many experts that have helped us get to this point, and it's fantastic that they exist. Thank God they do. And they've allowed us to reclaim our health. But once you've done that, I think what people are finding is that they're in this position where they don't know what to do next. They maybe want to question some of the things that they think they know because they've kind of appreciate that they've stumbled upon it out of kind of luck, maybe, and the YouTube algorithm and how they found some of these people that helped them through. But maybe they could have gone down a different path, and maybe they would have been a totally different diet. So it almost is the whole kind of happenstance of it, I think, has left people a little bit unsettled by where we're all at. And so we're asking questions, and people are asking questions about, well, okay, I feel amazing, but why is it that this person also says the opposite and he feels amazing, and they have an argument that seems to be evidence backed and they make sense as well? And how do I reconcile it with what I've heard? And you're left kind of asking these questions, and you're also left in having to interact with people around you and justify yourself. And I think that's how this kind of came about, is we're asking questions because we want to be able to put forward what we're doing with conviction and be able to explain it to people. And it's just like a language. If you understand a language and you can hear it, it's not the same as talking the language yourself and having the confidence to do that. And so I think we've all just kind of come together on this journey. We're in this community as part of Dr. Anthony Chaffee's Patreon, as you mentioned, and it's a fantastic community, amazing people, as you said. But we just found ourselves asking about the same kind of questions about the same kind of time. So we started to read books, and then we realized that we're all reading the same books at the same time. So we thought, one of my ideas was, well, let's just run a book club and do it together and have conversations about what we're reading. And I think that it just evolved because the need was there and people are in this situation together. And, we happen to have some fantastic people in the community. And so, yeah, about over a year ago, we put together this book club, and I'll tell you some stories about how it started out. It wasn't as good as it is now. But we've been, reading away, meeting every week, asking questions of each other. I'm probably a little bit of an antagonist in the mix because I like to really challenge everyone, even though I think we can be at risk of sitting in our sitting on our laurels a little bit, feeling a bit confident that we, you know, our health is so great, and we don't need to kind of question it. We've solved it. But I think we should still always be ready for what people will do, which is to question us at some point in time. So I always have that kind of devil's advocate position, and always try and like make sure that we're not getting dogmatic about what we believe, and that we're open-minded, and that we're really challenging ourselves and looking at all points of view. So we've even done a book which is like the total opposite to everything we think and believe, and that was a pretty challenging month. But it worked. In the end, it worked. So we've kind of evolved, and we found ourselves here, and it really works really well. Everyone is very, very tight-knit and really knows what was going on in everyone else's life, and we chat about everything we're reading, you know, the kind of questions that it naturally brings up for us, the experiences that we relate to within the book, and we're just learning so much along the way. So yeah, it's working really well at the moment.
I love that. Well, I'm so excited to ask you more questions about the book club. We've got a special format today, though, where we're going to be inviting in some of the members of the book club. I don't know if it's graded or not, if attendance is graded. My attendance is less than stellar in the book club, as it falls in a very tricky time in my schedule. So as you're talking about the community, it makes me very jealous, because it's a wonderful community. At the times that I've been able to participate, you really get a sense of, you know, the people that are in the community and asking really genuine questions. And so since you know these people much better than I do, I'm going to turn the microphone over to you a little bit more. I might have some questions here and there. And again, I'll have some questions for you along the way. But we're going to invite our first person in to our conversation, which is Mike, I believe. And so we're going to let him in now.
Hi, Mike. You need to put your video on, I think. Aha.
There we go.
Hello, Mike.
Hey, Casey, Olivia, how you guys doing?
Very good. Like the hat, Mike.
Oh yeah, good one.
Well, welcome to the show, Mike. We're honored to have you. And I believe Olivia might have some questions for you. And we'd love to hear your story about how you found the carnivore diet and Chaffee's book club.
Okay, thank you. I'd love to talk about it.
Mike, if you just intro yourself and tell us what you think so far of it all.
Yeah. I guess thanks for having me. First of all, my name's Mike. I live in Las Vegas. I've been keto more seriously since about 2012, and carnivore since 2018. The highest weight I ever measured was about 415 pounds when I started this current lifestyle, and maintained it ever since. So I was about 380, because I got down to about 380 through keto. And then from 380, now I'm down hovering around 220. And I'm just healing. I'm just taking my time. I'm not in any hurry. The weight's just a side benefit, but you know, I'm just healing from everything I did up through my 40s. So I'm 57 now. But yeah, I've watched a lot of Casey's videos. You know, I got into this whole lifestyle when I started doing carnivore. I watched a lot of videos. Casey's has so many great guests on, and it gives me an idea of where to start. And then I search from there, because the guests give such great information. And then, you know, just go from those opinions and move on from there. As far as book club, which is, I love, I was never in a book club prior to this. I was just reading them on my own all the time. And when we threw out the idea in the book club, I thought it was a great idea, good opportunity to get the points of views from other folks that we read the book with. And it's kind of become a family to me. So I pretty much go to Discord every day, and then I look forward to book club every week.
It's very nice of you to say that, Mike, but that wasn't the experience at the start, was it? So tell us what happened in month one.
No. In the beginning, I gotta say, yeah, our first book was Guns, Germs, and Steel. And I remember I didn't really agree a lot with the author. He kind of had some ideas, but I was like, well, and I thought I mentioned to you, and I think Jared offline, that, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to continue doing this. I don't agree. This guy just rubs me the wrong way. I don't like his ideas. And you said, you know, you reminded me, you know, unless we embrace other ideas. We can't just, be in a vacuum and learn from what and how they originate, how they got to where they are, see the full picture. I decided to continue on. I did that, and I'm glad I did, because we learn so much from other views. It helps us, if we just read the same thing we always read, we don't learn. We just confirm. And I like that part, the confirmation, but I really enjoy the growing, the learning, the finding out how much better things can be, putting it together. Yeah.
I also felt very sorry for me that month, because I was picking on you to say things in book club all the time, and if you left, we had no book club, and so I think you just took pity on me at that point.
No, I appreciate you. You're the best thing our Discord has, and you brought the book club here, and you bring in authors. We had, another thing was we were reading The Big Fat Surprise, and Olivia gave us a big fat surprise with Nina, the author, actually showing up to our final meeting. So it was like, holy cow, we got an author who we've been reading and sitting there and answering questions. It was like, what book club does that? I don't know if they all do, but this was great. I was like, wow. And ever since then, for like the last 10, 12 books, I think we've read about 10 or 12. We've had the authors there. We've had like Bickman. We've had, everybody you can think of. They all show up. So what a great opportunity. Pick their brains, see what they're doing. And wow, I'm just impressed. Like I said, it's a family. And then I feel like the authors are kind of in the family, because we just talk with them. They're not, they can be themselves a little more than trying to appeal to a larger audience. We're like a niche group. They're not all carnivores. They're whatever they are, but we like their ideas and we learn from it. That's great about book club. Book club is awesome.
Yeah. It just kind of happened that way, because I was working with Nina at the time, and we were doing her book, and I said to her, would you be able to come along and just talk to us and let us ask you questions? So I didn't tell anyone in the group that we were going to do that. But I said, just make sure you're there, please. Just make sure you turn up. And so it was nice to bring Nina out. And that was our second book. So not the one that Mike described as being very difficult to start with, but the second one, we went from basically a really difficult book to start with that we all found hard to read, to having Nina on for the second book, which was Big Fat Surprise. So that kind of set us off on this path of saying, well, let's just keep asking the authors along. And we happen to know quite a few of them from my work and through Anthony as well. And they've just been showing up. And it makes sense from their point of view, because, we're giving, their book a lot of attention, and then we can ask them questions, and they get to speak to real readers that have read their book and are coming up with real, genuine questions. It's not like any other kind of format. So that seems to have just continued to be a feature. And, I think I've ruined it for anyone else who wants to join a future book club, because why would you read a book if you can't ask the author questions at the end? So yeah, that's worked really well.
That's amazing. Mike, what were some of the other authors that really stood out to you?
Well, I got them all here. We just did Leah Keith's last book. She impressed the heck out of me. Her story, her struggle, where she was almost dead, and she said she was almost dead. She spoke to this guru guy, and he kind of could sense her whole thing, where you're dead inside, basically. She's like, whoa. Took the change. She was vegan, vegetarian, went carnivore, healed her up. She looks great. She is so vibrant, so energetic. I think she was great. Bickman was great. Let me write down here. Bickman was great. Diana Rogers, Robert Lustig, Bickman, Malcolm Kendrick, Sally Norton, Jane Buxton, Chris Palmer, Jared Diamond, Will Harris. We're on him now. We're reading that one. His A Bold Return to Giving a Damn. Great book. We're almost done with that. But we also read Simon Hill's book. That one, The Proof is in the whatever something. Anyway, none of us really agreed with him. Obviously, he's got so many. He throws out these straw man arguments. He's just very, just watching a lot of his videos as well. But we wanted to bring it in because he's different. Let's hear what he's got to say. Maybe we might learn something, about ourselves and about each other, because we get in discussions, and sometimes the discussion branches off from the book. We have these little side conversations, and it's like I said, it's a family thing. It's like Thanksgiving, family sitting around the table, we talk about everything. But yeah, just great authors. All those authors, they're all great. They have so much knowledge, so much to share. I'm glad we got to share and meet them. We met just about every one of them. So it's really great.
Awesome. Wow. Well, Mike, your story is absolutely incredible. So grateful to be able to meet you. I'm just really close to you in Salt Lake City. So I'll be visiting Olivia sometime to watch Formula One in England, and I'll be visiting you sometime to watch Formula One in Las Vegas. Besides that, thank you so very much for coming on our show today and sharing your story. It's really inspiring. It's really inspirational. And I really respect that you were able to take on content that you wouldn't necessarily agree with, but to be able to hear it and understand the differences and just appreciate it for what it is. I think that takes a lot of courage, and I just really respect your story. So thank you so very much for coming on, and thank you for the kind words.
Thank you, Casey. Appreciate it. Appreciate you and Olivia, both of you.
Bye.
Well, thank you so much.